Did you hear that? They're after me again. Did you hear those sirens? Listen, being a YouTuber is not a crime, no matter what they say. But hurry, let's get this comment. Okay, yesterday I did a video called Norwood 3. Trying new hairstyles is important. Our good friend Maxwell Smart had this to say. Quote, how you see yourself versus how you see you, or is it really how you want to be seen by others? Just some food for thought, end quote. Now what he's referring to there is I ended that video by talking about how the fact, and this has been a theme that's been building in my videos, especially this week or so, is I keep pointing out the fact that, especially like with my new hairstyle, that's kind of what brought this on, is before I had the Jared Kushner hairstyle, which that's the son-in-law of President Trump, and that's a guy who is just a couple months older than me. He's the same age as me, and he had the same hairstyle, which he hid his hairline. And then so suddenly when I embraced this hairline and I fully exposed it, what was happening was people were responding very positively to it. So that's just to kind of catch you up on what's going on here. And so what I was saying as I've been processing this over the last week and a half, since this happens, I got this new hairstyle, is that it's a reminder to me that I had this idea in my mind of what looked good, of as far as my hairstyle, like making the most of the hair that I have as a Norwood 3. And in my mind, what looked good, it didn't look bad, but what's interesting is that was how things were in my mind. When we started looking at the mind of the general public after you reinvented myself with this new hairstyle, what we saw was people unanimously, overwhelmingly, positively responded and liked this better. Even though it exposes my hairline, and even though in a sense it makes me, quote, look older, but now I'm realizing looking older is not a bad thing. Actually, it's not that I look older, it's that I look more mature, maybe more sophisticated, more cleaner, more professional. And that's how the outside world is actually judging me. And that works for me. So even though in my mind, having a more juvenile looking hairline with the longer hair in front of me, even though that made sense in my head, that was how I saw myself. So let's process this. So the value that I had on my own hairline is definitely an absolute contrast versus how everybody else in the entire world sees me. You as the subscriber or viewer, my coworkers, my wife, everybody ever likes this better. Even though it exposes my hairline, it doesn't make me look as young, but people value my mature look more so than they do value me looking young. Of course, at 36, being a responsible, hardworking husband and father and blogger and YouTuber, they value someone who looks mature, not young or even trying to look young or whatever. So that's the backstory. All right. So now that you're up to speed on that, and by the way, let me point this out again. I am still trying to get rid of this acne that happened when I had the bangs in front. So that's yet ultra inspiration to never have hair that long again where it falls on my face, because it caused so much, I guess, bacteria in my skin. It just taken forever. Okay. So let's apply this to all of us. Now that I've given you my testimonial, now let's talk about all of us and how this relates and where we're going with this comment. So I want to go back to this concept that how you see yourself is one thing, how others see you, and then as Maxwell Smart pointed out, how you want to be seen by others. So what we're learning from, and I was supposed to ask you open-endedly, but I think I'm being very biased as I'm answering this. I was going to ask you what matters more, how you value yourself and as far as your hair goes, what you think looks good, what other people look good, and then Max is saying, or how you want other people to see you. But ultimately, I think it's very obvious, it's very clear in my personal testimony that I've lived through this last week and a half. To me, it's obvious. To me, it's so obvious that how others view me matters more than how I view me. Let me say that out loud again, because I mean that with my heart. What matters more to me when it comes to how I'm seen physically, as far as being handsome or attractive or whatever I am, right? Physically how the world sees me, it has more to do with the value is in how other people see me, not how I see me. Because how I see me is completely the opposite of how the rest of people. I had the values misplaced completely. And now I get that. Like, I want you to know, this is real, right? Now, there's newcomers who come to this channel. Hey, look, there's a brand new Corvette. Or not brand new, but... And he never keeps a cover on it. Like, man, if I had that thing, I'd like cover it wherever I drove it and parked it. So it's just interesting, though, that my value, my understanding was completely wrong. And what I was saying was that as a YouTuber, everything you see here, this is the real me. There are people who will try to accuse me of being obsessed with hair and I'm secretly worried about it. No, it's the character arc. And this is a monumental video. This is a monumental point in my video history in which I fully accept the fact that I now place the value of my hair loss and how I deal with that. I place infinity value on how everybody else sees me. And at this point, I need to put basically -1 on how I value myself. My wife was right all along. Should I even let her know I'm making this video? I am planning on interviewing her in the near future, and I guess I need to come clean and tell her that. She was right all along. She never liked my hair down like this. She never liked that younger look that I was going for. She never liked that. And turns out she was right. It's like this. It's like if I presented people with pictures of myself with different hairstyles and did that, you know, it's not that they would be against the hair that I did have, but overwhelmingly, given the choice in seeing this, everybody agrees this is better. So the takeaway is this: forget what you think, forget how you feel about how your hair looks. Forget about that. It's meaningless, it's pointless, it holds no value. The only thing that matters is how the rest of the world values your hair. And I mean that in a good way, not in a bad way. It's amazing how much my eyes have been opened. It's amazing what I've learned. That what I saw was as hair loss, as me looking older and less relevant and less attractive. That's the value I put on this Norwood 3 situation. Instead, the rest of the world, once I expose this for what it really is, what they see in me is maturity, sophistication, and therefore, ultimately, a better looking guy. Process that, because this is a monumental moment in my hair loss journey.